Welcome to the Brotherhood of the Briar. I'm the Dapper Codger Greg Hergott, coming here from South Carolina. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today I want to talk to you about unghosting a pipe. Most of you are probably familiar with what ghosting of a pipe is, but for those that aren't, basically when you smoke a tobacco that is, like a cherry aromatic, for example, and you smoke that consistently in a particular pipe, eventually that flavor will linger in there. Even after being cleaned, it will linger in there. And so if you go the next day and smoke maybe a straight Virginia blend, it's going to taste like a cherry blend, because even though there's no cherry in that particular tobacco, because of the ghosting that is lingering from the previous tobaccos. It also happens a lot with Latakia. There's a very smoky flavor to the Latakia, and if you smoke Latakia, an English blend, consistently in a pipe, and then you want to go and smoke something different, it's still going to taste like that English blend with Latakia. So I have gotten to a place where I enjoy English blends with Latakia and I enjoy aromatics, but today I find myself most of the time just smoking Virginias, Burleys, dark-fired Kentuckys. Those are my predominant tobaccos that I'm smoking. Now they may have a little Perique mixed in it, or some Orientals or something, but mainly I'm smoking Virginias, Burleys, and I'm very big on dark-fired Kentucky. And because of that, because I have designated pipes where I only smoke aromatics out of this pipe, I hardly ever smoke this pipe anymore, because on average I'm probably smoking one aromatic a week and one English blend with Latakia a week. Whereas, I might smoke 7 pipes of a Virginia or Burley blend in a regular day. So because of that, I'm not getting to smoke many of my favorite pipes. For example, like my Sir Jocker Poe, I hardly ever smoke it anymore. So there's a few pipes that I want to go ahead and take, and I want to unghost them so that I can start smoking my, Virginias and Burleys, so forth, out of this pipe. If I change my taste later down the road, which could happen, because I still enjoy an English blend and aromatics, but I just don't smoke them that often. But later on, if I get on a kick and I'm just smoking lots of nightcap or something, well then Virginias and Burleys typically don't ghost a pipe. So I can go back in and I don't even have to unghost this. I can just go back to English if I want. Briar pipes and basically all hardwood pipes typically ghost after you start smoking the same thing in them. But Virginias and Burleys tend to not ghost. Dark-fired Kentucky can ghost, but I'm to the point where I don't care if it ghosts a pipe, because I love dark-fired Kentucky so much. So I'm going to pick a few of my pipes that I've been smoking aromatics and English blends out of, and I'm going to work on showing you how to unghost them. So this is my current pipe collection. On another note, corncob pipes, they also can ghost. I know some people think they don't, but they are porous, and you smoke enough of one thing out of them and they can ghost. And meerschaums, they can ghost as well. However, it takes a little bit more for them to ghost. They're a little easier if you keep them cleaned well, maybe occasionally clean them with alcohol. You can prevent them from ghosting, but they can ghost. Clay pipes now, I've got a couple clay pipes. They do not ghost. Clay pipes are wonderful for trying new tobaccos because they will not ghost, and you will really just taste pretty much nothing but the tobacco when you smoke out of a clay pipe. So This is my current collection of pipes. Got, there's my Costello. Got some Petersons here. My Mutt Cat from Indonesia. Got my Donald Trump clay pipe. All right, well, I'm going to pick out a few of these that I am going to walk through unghosting them. Okay, so these are the pipes that I'm going to work on unghosting. My Mutt Cat calabash, handmade and from Indonesia. This is actually acacia wood, antique wood. I have been smoking English blends out of that, and I really want to smoke some Virginia Burley Kentucky dark fired Kentuckys out of all these, basically. That's my Nording that I've been smoking aromatics out of. My Radice, been smoking English blends out of. My Dunhill that I have been smoking English blends out of. My Sir Jacopo that I've been smoking English blends out of. My GG Canadian that I have been smoking aromatics out of. And then my Savinelli Hercules, which I have been smoking English blends out of. So I'm gonna unghost all of these. So I'm gonna start by just removing the stems on all of these pipes. So none of these pipes have a very thick carbon cake on them. However, I am going to go ahead and ream each one, even though they don't need it that much. This is just a little inexpensive reamer, but I don't really need anything much more than this because these are not heavily caked. So I'm just going to go through each one until it is about down to the wood. So that there's very little, if any at all, carbon cake on there, on the inside. This Savinelli has a little bit of a thicker cake on it, and I don't have a really good reamer, so I'm going to very carefully take my blade here and work on it a little bit. So now I am going to go ahead and take a pipe cleaner and I'm going to fold it over. And I'm going to take a little piece of some plastic wrap and I'm just going to kind of wrap it around the end of that. Something like that. There's different ways you could do this. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that down into the shank there of my pipe, like that. I have a little egg carton thing here, and I'm going to go ahead and sit that down in there like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just do that to each pipe. Okay, so I've got all my pipes ready for the next step. So now I am going to take some Morton kosher salt. Not going to use any other salt. I'm going to use some kosher salt, coarse kosher salt. And I'm going to go ahead and pour some of that in a little jar, little whatever, glass bowl. And I got a little scooper. You can do this however you want. Basically, I want to very carefully have that ready like that. I have heard some people say, go ahead and put a drop of alcohol down in there first, but I've done it this way before and had success. So I'm just going to go ahead and carefully pour some salt down in there. Do just a little bit more. I'm not filling it quite all the way to the top, but I am pretty close, almost like you would maybe pack a pipe. I've got, you know, 1/8 of an inch or so there from the top. And then I am gonna set that down in my container. Okay, so my wife and I do not drink, so we don't keep any alcohol around the house. So I ran up to the liquor store and got a little airplane, vodka bottle. This is just some cheap, straight, not flavored vodka. And I'm gonna now, very carefully, open this up. I have a dropper. I am going to fill it up. You don't want to get the alcohol on the outside of the pipe. Real important. If you do, wipe it off very quickly. All right, so I am going to very carefully, just very slowly, drip some alcohol down onto the salt. Kind of drop some, let it soak in there. I'm going to set that in my bowl here. So I've got that one ready. And now I'm just going to go on down and do the rest of them. Okay, so I've got all my pipes ready except for my chamber for my mutt cat calabash. I have heard that you can use damp coffee grounds, sorry, will also deghost a pipe. So I'm going to actually try that on this one. I happen to have ground some fresh pipe cottage coffee from Moose Run Coffee this morning. And so I'm going to use that. Okay, so now all I have to do is wait 24 hours. So while we're waiting, I thought I'd come outside and smoke a pipe. My mom, for my birthday on March 8th, bought me this nice meerschaum, and my wife Julie helped her pick it out. They went to McCraney's Pipe Shop in Charlotte, North Carolina together. So that was nice. I'm smoking some Rattray's Brown Clooney, which is Kentucky, Virginia, and Perique. And I just checked the mailbox. I'm excited. I had this as my phone case, and it cracked here. I dropped my phone, it cracked, which it protected the phone, but my case cracked. And I really liked that. But then I thought, hey, I can get a new one, right? So I got something. I hope it turned out all right. I got to show you. The Brotherhood of the Briar phone case. Super excited about that. I'll have to put that on my phone. Okay, so it's been about 24 hours. So I want to show you the very important next step of exorcising a pipe's ghost. As you can see, the salt has turned kind of brown. But there's one final step here we have to do. Find yourself a crucifix and say, "The power of Christ compels you." Okay, I know I'm just being silly. All right, now that we have exorcised these pipes' ghost, we need to go ahead and clean these out. All right, so I'm going to take each pipe. And I'm just going to take your standard little nail pipe tool. And I'm going to start cleaning this out of here. Now I used vodka. You can really use any alcohol. The higher the proof, the less time you need to let them sit. Everclear is good. But kind of like I said, my wife and I no longer drink, so we don't keep alcohol on hand. So I just got a little airplane, whatever you call those size, little vodka, and that works just fine. Now, I've done this a few other times for estate pipes when I've bought them from antique stores. And then, you know, if you buy an estate pipe from like smokingpipes.com, which I've done, or I've bought a few estate pipes from McCraney's Pipe Shop in Charlotte, North Carolina, and those are already cleaned. You can just fire those up and smoke them. But you know, when you buy them from an antique shop, a lot of times almost always, they're just ghosted with some old codger blends or something. So I have done this before with antique pipes that I've bought from, estate pipes that I bought from antique stores. Getting that cleaned out. Now I'm going to take a paper towel, fold it over a few times. Put it down in there and twist. Going to go ahead and take a pipe cleaner. Fold it over. Okay, so now I'm going over to the sink, and I've got some distilled water here, and I am going to pour it in there. Just to get the rest of that alcohol out of there. Salt, maybe that's kind of lingering in there. And I'm going to go through and do this to each pipe. Taking a pipe cleaner in there again. I'm going to put my stem back on. I'm going to blow through it. All right, well now I'm just going to let this dry out for a few days before I smoke it. Make sure it's good and dry. Well, I'm going to go ahead and repeat that process with the rest of my pipes. Well, I've been letting my pipes dry out for 5 days now, and so I've got my Radice slightly bent apple, and I have, I used to smoke English blends out of this all the time, but I've got it packed with just some straight dark-fired Kentucky. So hopefully I will taste nothing but dark-fired Kentucky. Let's give it a try. Give it a good charring light. So far, so good. Let's give it a true light. I don't have any hint at all of Latakia, and I used to smoke English blends out of this regularly. Yeah, all I'm tasting is Cornell and Deal Dark Fired Kentucky. Success. Now, well, thanks for joining me again today on the Brotherhood of the Briar. Until next time.